In this final problem, we are going to find the inverse and then the domain and range of the inverse. Let's begin by switching the f of x out for a y. Let's write this as y equals 7x minus 9 over negative 8x plus 5. Okay, that is the original problem. Now we want to do the switching of the x and y, which is common whenever you're trying to find this inverse. So we will have x equals 7y minus 9 over negative 8y plus 5. Okay, we don't like the fraction here. We will think of this as an x over 1 on the left, and we will cross multiply. The diagonal with the x in it will give us negative 8xy plus 5x. The other diagonal will be 1 times 7y minus 9. The goal here is to solve for the new y, which means we need all the y's to one side. Since the 7y is positive on the right, I'm going to bring the y's to the right and the constants to the left. The left side now becomes 5x plus 9. The right side is 7y plus 8xy. On the right hand side, we can now factor out a y. So we've got 5x plus 9 equals y times 7 plus 8x. And we can finally isolate that y by itself, dividing off what's in the parentheses. So we're going to have 5x plus 9, and instead of writing 7 plus 8x, I'm going to write 8x plus 7. So that right there is equal to our f inverse of x, and our first portion of the problem has been solved. 5x plus 9 up in the numerator. Okay, now we need to find the domain of f inverse, and we know that that denominator cannot equal 0. So 8x plus 7 not equal to 0 means that x cannot equal negative 7/8. That being the case, the domain of, and I better write f inverse so we don't get confused, is going to be from negative infinity up to, but not including, the negative 7/8, united with the interval to the right of negative 7/8. Okay? Now we want the range. Now there's a couple ways of looking at this, but let's take a look at, well, let's do it this way. Range of f inverse of x equals 5x plus 9 over 8x plus 7. This is a rational function, and since the degrees are the same in the numerator and denominator, we know that y equals 5/8 is going to be the horizontal asymptote. And so that is going to be the one y value that cannot be assumed, and therefore the range will be from negative infinity up to 5/8, united with 5/8 to infinity. Now let's take one quick look before we finish this here. If we look at the original function up at the top of the page here, it was f of x is equal to 7x minus 9 over negative 8x plus 5. Okay. Look at the original function. Isn't its range going to not include the negative 7/8? Well, for the inverse, it was the domain that did not include the negative 7/8. If you look at the denominator here, and you say, okay, negative 8x plus 5 cannot equal 0. That means 5 cannot equal 8x, and x cannot equal 5/8. And so the domain of f matches the range of f inverse, and the domain of f inverse matched the range of f itself.